the way that this will work, I'm going to start with the gospel, and then Freddie's going to play a piece on the guitar before I speak further. So we'll begin with our gospel reading, which is from the gospel according to St. Matthew. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you, Freddie. Fantastic. I'm really sorry that we've not been able to finish the term with the prize day we had planned, and that we've been prevented from joining together as a school and with your parents to celebrate properly the end of this extraordinary year. But if we've learnt anything at all this year, it is to enjoy and celebrate what we can do rather than spend our time mourning what we can't. So I'm delighted that we're able to hold this assembly for those of you who are with us today and to stream it to those who are not able to join us in person. Now, before I get going properly, having witnessed some extraordinary performances in here, just earlier on we had a Singing in the Rain, which had been put together in 2 days, which I thought was absolutely phenomenal. Having watched Little Shop of Horrors in here, again, absolutely astounding. And then listening to Freddie just now, it feels pretty humbling. Also, not to mention last night's House debating final, which the quality of which I thought was absolutely extraordinary. And as someone who was terrified to speak in public when I was at school, I'm full of admiration. So anyone who took part in any of those things or was involved in any of those things, could you just stand up, and I'd like to give you a round of applause. So if you were in Little Shop of Horrors, thank you very much indeed. Well done to all of you, and thank you. I'll be speaking at greater length tomorrow at the prize-giving assembly, and I hope that you and your parents will join us for that via the live stream link as we say farewell and thank you to our departing upper sixth form. Today, I thought we might take the opportunity for a brief reflection as we come to the end of a year like no other for our school, or for our world for that matter. I was interested recently to read an email I wrote to all the pupils in the school on the 24th of March last year, a week after the first lockdown had been announced and we had been instructed to send everyone home. I hope you won't mind if I read from it, because I think it's quite pertinent. So this was 24th of March last year. Dear all, we're running out of superlatives to describe the scale of what is happening to all our lives and the global effect of the coronavirus. Yesterday, I sent out an update from the school to your parents, giving further details of our remote learning programme and how we are working to support your learning at this time of upheaval. Later in the evening, the Prime Minister announced that he was scaling up the measures to tackle the spread of the virus and that it was time to stop all but essential activities and travel. Whilst obviously I want you to spend time on your academic development and to keep up your studies through the remote lessons and work your teachers are providing, please don't miss the opportunity to reflect on what is happening and its momentousness. Retaining normality is important and comforting, but let's not pretend that what we are experiencing is normal. I would venture that none of us would have chosen to be in our current situation, but now that we are, let's make sure we learn the lessons it is so clearly offering us. These are not remote or in any way virtual. They are very real and immediate. I say with confidence that this will pass, but let's ensure that when it does, we emerge into a world more sensitive and with a deeper understanding of our fragility, one which values humility, where we think more about the needs of others and about sharing what we have generously and sustainably, rather than stockpiling and hoarding far beyond what we need. The school is like the Mary Celeste today, eerily quiet and missing all of you who give the buildings and the grounds their meaning and purpose. In line with the latest guidance, our essential staff are here, only our essential staff are here, and the last 3 pupils soon to depart. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you all again whenever that becomes possible. It looks like it may be some time, but one thing's for sure, it will be a cause for a major celebration when we do. Please stay safe and be responsible in the coming days and weeks. Contribute positively and generously at home. Help out where you can in your community, if that is appropriate and possible. Best wishes. Well, the eerie silence remained right up until September, when you all returned, or many of you joined us here at Downside at that time. And I'll share with you that I and my colleagues were more than a little nervous as to how we would all adapt to the measures we'd been required to put in place, changing our normal way of doing things. We needn't have worried. It was clear from the outset that you were determined to make the most of being together as a community, and we were all in this together. Year group bubbles, new arrangements for meals, wearing masks, different social spaces set up around the school, the need to walk on the left, teacher-assessed grades, the absence of sports fixtures, the absence of choir and orchestra practice, online assemblies, hymn practice and Sunday prayer services, not to mention online play rehearsals. You took it all in your stride. Even the second lockdown, suddenly sprung on us in January, whilst hugely disappointing, did not manage to dampen your spirits and made the return in March for those who could get here, or in April for others, even more joyous. We have missed those who have been unable to return in person, but I thank you for your patience and perseverance. You can be assured of a very warm welcome when you finally do return in September. My confidence that the pandemic will pass remains, and you have all given me tremendous hope through the way in which you have reacted and conducted yourself, that we are emerging a more sensitive and humble community with a greater sense of generosity and respect towards others. Rather than seek to forget the challenges we have faced this year and put the whole experience behind us, I would urge that you take further time to reflect and embed the lessons we have learnt individually and collectively. There's been extensive talk in the media and elsewhere about the negative impact of the past year on education and the need for catch-up, which I do understand. But whilst there may be a deficit in the acquisition of information and skills in some aspects of your education, I would urge a longer-term view, and actually that you make use of our Christian and Benedictine lens. I'm not an avid motor racing fan, but I do occasionally follow what's happening in Formula One. For many, it has become a bit boring, as it seems almost impossible nowadays for drivers to overtake one another on the circuit. Races are now won or lost on the basis of the driver's race strategy and the speed and efficiency of their pit stops. It's no good just keeping going without refueling and changing the tyres. Those who do end up well down the field. So visiting the pits at the right moment is critical, as is trust in your teammates, on whom you rely when you do come in. A missed pit stop ends up costing you. So, what's my point? Well, this year I hope you can see that we've been called in for an essential pit stop. The pandemic is providing us with a plentiful supply of fuel and good new tyres. Anyone who ignores the chance to stop and keeps driving regardless may feel in the short term they're gaining a few positions on the track, but those who make sensible use of their pit stops ultimately will end up laps ahead rather than behind. Now, obviously, life is not a race or a competition, so perhaps I should use a more suitable illustration of the well-known parable with which we began about the two men, one of whom built his house on sand in quick time, and one who chose rock and took a while longer. My thanks again to you all, pupils and my staff colleagues, for your generosity and support over the course of this year. We are building on rock and will continue to do so, whatever the wind and rain throws at us, and can look to the future with confidence. So now we come to our prizes, and we'll begin with the fourth form. So the headmaster's prize in the fourth form goes to Edith Jenkins, and the headmaster's essay prize goes to Rupert Sharifi and Maya Krishan. The next prizes go to Jessie von der Schulenburg, That is for religious studies, classics, German, biology, chemistry, physics, and geography. Well done, Jessie. The English Language and History Prize go to Oliver Westlake. The English Literature, Classical Greek, Mathematics, Physics and History prizes go to B. Garrett. The Latin prize goes to Rupert Sharifi, the French prize to Ivo Melot, and the Spanish prize to Lily Rose Hall. The German prize goes to Geoffrey Bedoy, the Computer Science to Leonora van Laar, and the Physics and Art prize to Aristo Cham. The Geography Prize goes to Edith Jenkins, the Music and Design Prizes go to Seb Mitten, and the Physical Education Prize goes to Oscar Smelly. Well done. Now we move into the fifth form, and the Headmaster's Prize goes to Matthew Stanislas. Headmaster's Essay Prizes go to Maya Strauss and Ari Ramrutan. is back up again for the Religious Studies Prize, English Literature, History and Geography prizes. English language, classics, French and physics go to Scarlet Ridge. The English language prize and art prize go to Sophia Siemens. The Spanish prize goes to Leila Aquenza Al-Karim, and the German prize to Ari Ramrutten. Now, the German prize goes to Vincent Chan, who I gather is not here. The Mathematics prize to Louis Tang, and Computer Science and Biology prize goes to Artem Loparov, who again I think is not here. So, Louis, if you come up. The Chemistry and Economics Prize go to Puiying Huang and Arthur Kebbel, neither of whom again are here. So we move on to the Music Prize, which goes to Ayrton Rose, the Design Prize to Caspar Shaw, and Physical Education to Joe Last Sutton. And now we move on to the lower sixth prizes. And the Headmaster's Prize goes to Barney Sharifi. The Headmaster's Essay Prize goes to Beth Mitten and Magda Piankowska, who is not here. So Barney and Beth, please come. Now, Barney and Beth are going to be straight back up, but Religious Studies goes to Barney Sharifi, Religious Studies also to William Dewhurst, English and Music to Beth Mitten. The English Prize and the History of Art Prize goes to Maria Dolman. Drama prize goes to Joya Ackhammer. Well done, Joya. Very well done. The Classics prize and the German prize go to Joseph Day. The Spanish prize goes to Stephanie Jediagbar, the Mathematics prize to Shotaro Ida, and the Computer Science prize to Brian McCarza. Well done, Stephanie. The biology and physics prizes both go to Jakob Milsarek, who is sadly not here. Chemistry prize goes to Mariana Keklarek, and the history prize to Sally Healy. I've done this before, and so I apologise. I've missed out a prize. So, French is Camilla Roth. Camilla, I'm sorry. Sorry, I better take a breath. The Geography prize and the Psychology prize go to Gus Healy, the Art prize to Mia Evans, and the Design prize to Jacob Gould. The Business Prize goes to Sam Bellord, the Economics Prize to Henry Clark, and the Physical Education Prize to Ben Hart. We come to some other awards. To the Brendan Lavery Mathematics Prize, it goes to Mariana Keklarek. And The épée fencing cup goes to Ivo Malott and Paul Mauritz. The best junior cadet goes to Lucia McNally. Well done, Lucia. Very good. And we now have some senior caps for sport, and they go to Maria Dolman, Harry Clark, Joe Lars Sutton, and Nicholas Viljoen. Well done, Maria. Well done, Harry. Well done, Joe. Well done, Nick. I just wanted to say a quick word before finishing to announce the heads of school for next year, and I'd like to thank all of those who applied for the position. It was clear from the interviews that every one of the applicants was putting themselves forward for the right reason, with the aim of serving the community, which bodes extremely well, I think, for next year. Remember, everybody, that you do not need a title or a position of status to lead. Every one of you leads every time that you support others to make the most of their gifts, and every time you do service to our community. And the head girl and head boy, as I'm sure you are aware, and I'd like them to come up, please, are Stephanie Jedi-Agba and Joseph Day. Thank you, guys. If you just, thank you, well done. Thank you to them. And I think it bodes, as I say, it's an exciting year next year. I feel that the foundation of our success this year has been built on collaboration and the development of trust between teachers and learners. And this year has also brought into sharper focus how ambiguous the dividing line is between who is teaching and who is learning. I'm sure my colleagues would agree with me and have had the same experience, but many of the most valuable lessons I've learnt this year, I've learnt from pupils. But it's been a genuine team effort, teachers, pupils, and your parents, working together to find solutions. We've all become better at working independently, but we know where and when to go for help. We've banished embarrassment at showing ignorance and no longer waste valuable time assigning blame when things go wrong. It's an empowering combination, I feel. It's building on rock, as I said before. Thank you and have a fantastic summer. And please try to remember, as I said in that letter from the 24th of March last year, please remember to contribute positively and generously at home. Help out where you can in your community if that is appropriate and possible. Many, many thanks and have a great holiday.